winning the title, right? I heard, and this is what I've heard on Joe Rogan, that you were injured going into that fight, so you took it on 2 weeks' notice.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. Well, it's true that I took it on 2 weeks' notice. It's hard to say, mate, because I would class an injury as something like where you need a lot of time off after, need surgery, need rehab process. It wasn't an injury like that. It was, I just pulled my back really bad.
Right, okay.
And I couldn't train.
I'm no specialist, but that sounds like an injury to me.
It's definitely an injury, but it wasn't like, after a few weeks I was all right. It weren't like career ending or anything.
How did it all go about? When did you get the call? How did you get the call? How did you know that it were going to come about?
So I got a phone call off someone really, really high up in the UFC. And I've never had a call off him before.
Right.
And it was at 5 a.m. So my phone started ringing, because obviously they're on a different time, they're on Vegas time, aren't they?
Yeah.
So my phone started ringing. And when you're don't know if you're awake or asleep? It was like one of them. And then I looked at it, I thought, I'm just going to ring him back in a few hours, when I'm awake. And I started trying to get back to sleep, and I was like, there's no way that I can go back. What is going on? So I rung him, and he said, we'll be ready to fight in 2 weeks. And I knew that the heavyweight title fight was coming up and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll be ready to fight in 2 weeks. So what's going on? He said, I can't tell you right now. There's more to this story. He said, I'll give you a call back tomorrow. And funny enough, the next day, so not the next day, but the day after that, so I think that was on a Tuesday. On the Thursday, I had a holiday booked.
Where were you going?
I was only going to Wales, but it was booked. It was booked. I was ready to go. I got 3 kids. They were all packed.
Yeah.
Wales is nice.
Yeah, Wales is really nice.
Wales,
Wales is really
like
nice. So I said, mate, you're gonna have to let me know tomorrow, because I'm going on holiday. Everything's booked. So I've got it all packed. He went, right, I'll let you know tomorrow. That day passed. That was a Tuesday. Tuesday night, I fell asleep. He rung me again at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just woke you up again, didn't I? I was like, yep, what's going on? He said, this is what's going on. John Jones is injured. We need you to step in. I said, I've not got a visa. I didn't have a work visa for America at the time. So
They could pull them strings.
No,
though,
so
clearly.
they did. So we had to dick around with all the visa stuff. I had to try and organise some kind of training camp within a week, because obviously I had a week till the fight week. So I had to be in New York the week after.
To do all media and stuff.
Yeah, to do everything. So I was like, right, get some lads in, get some sparring partners in. My dad's my coach, so my dad was straight on the sparring partners, got them in. And I thought, I'm going to be able to spar once, maybe twice maximum. Obviously, sparring is a massive part of your training when you've got a fight coming up.
Just sorry to interrupt, just for my information, how long is a camp normally? If you were fully preparing for a big fight, what would you normally?
I would have liked 10 weeks for that.
10 weeks?
Yeah. Between 8 and 10 weeks.
You did basically 1 week.
Well, I thought I had 1 week, and then so the first sparring session, I was like, I don't know. I wasn't. So I was training. I always train. Now I train every day, regardless. But there's a different intensity. When you're training for a fight, obviously you're training way more intense. When you've got an opponent, you're training towards that guy and stuff. So I was like, right, we're just going to do a spar and just see how fit I am, see where my conditioning's at. It's 5-round spar, different opponent, different training partner every round. Got 3 rounds in, mate, just pulled my back really bad.
Oh, again?
Couldn't even finish the 5 rounds. Didn't even finish the 5 rounds. Wow. Woke up the next day, mate. Couldn't fucking get out of bed. I was like, what am I going to do? I've got 5 days here.
Against the scariest Russian.
I've got 5 days here before I'm leaving for New York, what's going on? And it was just one of them, mate. You're just going to have to wing it, just see what happens.
You took the full Michael Bisping.
Just went all in, mate. You only get one chance at this kind of thing, so I just thought, this is it.
That's amazing.
Mate, I said a lot of stuff leading up to it. I said, there's one thing I know for sure. I know that I'm not going to win the fight by watching it on TV. That's something that I can guarantee.
That's a good line.
Oh.
George, clip that bit. That was a good one.
And that's something that I can guarantee. I'm definitely not going to win it by staying at home and watching it on TV. I know if I'm in there, at least I've got a chance. So, yeah, mate, just went all in and just went, listen, I can either make it excuses or I can believe in myself and go in there and have a go. So that's what I did. And
that's
it
amazing.
paid off.
It is, man, yeah.
And in some fashion as well, knocking him out, 70 seconds?
Yeah, something like that. I'm glad it was, mate, because I wouldn't have liked to do testing my cardio without any training, really, but...
Was that part of the plan then, just to kind of go in there and just try and chin him early on?
No, well, he's he's a massive puncher, the guy I fought. Absolutely massive, one of the most dangerous guys in the UFC. So I thought that I would actually, even though I didn't have a training camp, I thought I would have had an edge on the cardio, on the conditioning, because we didn't see him go past the first round in any of his fights. Like, he was just stopping everyone. So I thought, if I can weather like an early storm and take over later in the fight, he's a big muscle-bound guy as well. I thought surely he's going to like start tiring, start slowing down a little bit. But luckily, we didn't have to get to that point.